the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing the passing of a legend, the ascension of PR, and the beginning of Revice's final arc. But before all that, Buster, how you doing?
I'm okay. Could be better, could be worse.
Okay, I almost felt like there was a question mark on the end of that for a second.
No, we're kind of past the question marks for a bit.
Could it be worse? Could we have a second pandemic? Could that happen?
Oh God, what don't will it into existence?
I don't will shit. I have so little will, I couldn't even get a fucking blue lantern right.
But how are you doing?
Would kill if this was no prize.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm good. It's just, I'm switching to new work hours, so that's a bit of an adjustment I've been dealing with today. And then, work wasn't even all that exciting today because we're right smack dab in the middle of summer break at my school. So there's just, nothing happening, which means there's nothing for me to do as a custodian. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix in my janitor's closets.
Dang. Anything else? No, that's probably it. No, I'll probably just
I opened a lot of Transformers on Friday, but this isn't a Transformers podcast.
I mean, besides Power Rangers being owned by Hasbro, I guess.
Our loving overlord, Hector Hasbro.
Hector Hasbro. We need Bob Hasbro, John Hasbro. We need to pick a name. Pick a name and stick to it.
I like Hector Hasbro because it's alliteration. Somebody send us a stock image of that can be Hector Hasbro from now on.
Yeah,
I'll put him in the show art.
Yeah, just Hector Hasbro, just with the laser eyes.
Yeah, the specter of Hector Hasbro is always looming over us as we're having our lunch meeting.
Yeah.
Before we get too far into the podcast, I do want to deliver a bit of a public service announcement for everybody, which is just, if you weren't aware, Shin Ultraman is out in Japan now. So, be careful of spoilers from Japanese fans on whatever social media you go on. Because I don't know how much of track everybody was keeping of it, but because there's no US release, I literally forgot until yesterday I saw the fucking Metal Gear guy went and saw it.
Kojima.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I just retweeted that, that's yay. I hope he likes it.
Yeah. He didn't say anything particularly positive or negative, but you know what, whatever. I just, I would have really liked a fucking Fathom event, please. I would have put aside any plans I had to go see that movie.
Yeah, just we would have skipped Doctor Strange for it. We would have made sure it would outgross it.
Yeah, the first movie to sell a sextillion tickets.
Yeah, baby.
No. Hopefully, whenever it comes out on Blu-ray in Japan, we'll be able to rent it on Ultraman Connection. That's my big hope at the moment.
Yeah, I still want a theatrical release, but that'll probably be the best bet.
Yeah. But you know what your best bet is to keep up with this podcast? It's to help us out in the YouTube algorithm. So if you're listening on YouTube, please give us a like, comment down below, and subscribe and enable notifications to get not just this, but every episode of all the shows we do here at Modular Media. There's, of course, Modular Components, our flagship show where we just kind of shoot the shit at the end of the week to unwind and be bros. We've got the No Prize podcast where we discuss the MCU and any other comic thing we're interested in that week. And then there's No More Games. Buster, what is No More Games?
It's been on hiatus for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what's up with that, but I keep forgetting.
Well, first week, it was a mental health week. Second week, Boygo went to see Doctor Strange, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll go see it too. And then this week, I hope we can finally get an episode out.
All right, cool. I'll gambare, Buster. Make No More Games.
I will. Just need to get me and Boygo in the same Discord call. Yeah, but yeah, we talk about video games.
Yeah, I'll try and remember to remind you to go poke him after we're done with the show.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, please don't forget to also follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media and join our subreddit r/Modular Media. But that's all the shilling I need to do for now. Let's get into the news where we have 2 new cast members announced for Ultraman Decker. First off, Daichi. Is going,
Nobunaga Daichi.
damn it. I will never be able to pronounce Japanese names correctly on the first try. I've just accepted this now.
Yeah.
He's going to play Soma Ryoman, who is the main character's friendly rival, which I'm basically just taking as this is a more upbeat version of Scientist Man from Trigger.
Akito.
Yeah, especially because apparently he's actually going to be able to get involved in ground fights. He's going to be the pilot of the Guts Falcon. It's not going to be a remote piloted thing. He's actually going to be in the cockpit doing stuff, which should make for some cool visuals, I think.
Yeah. I hope he is good.
Yeah, he seems like a nice fellow given the quote they put with this. But then we also have a returning actor to the Ultra franchise, which is Yu Kononagi.
Yu Koyanagi.
Yay! He previously played one of the hosts of Ultraman Zero in Ultraman Zero: The Revenge of Baby L. But here he's going to be playing a new character, Yuchiro Ashikage.
Sakage.
Okay. Who is going to be basically the scientist man of this team. And he's described as a very calm and collected character who also is apparently going to be doing some mech piloting at some point, which is interesting.
Yeah, because it seems like he's the engineering of the little pilot things that they're gonna pilot, and then he'll like pilot one himself.
I wonder if Decker's going to have like a whole support squadron of like Ultraman style X-Wing pilots, if that's what they're going for here.
Like, a lot of Ultraman series do have that kind of thing, but like, it seems like they're going to emphasize it more here.
Yeah, which could be fun and could be very toyetic, actually, now that I think about it.
I mean, like, Trigger already had a bunch of big vehicles to buy, so...
Yeah, I can't remember. It was either Dyna, the original Dyna, or Gaia. They had like a whole subline of core fighters that like are still a beloved Toku toy line to this day.
I think it might have been Gaia. I could be wrong because I still haven't like watched any Dyna or Gaia.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But ahead of the reveal of Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 12, Amazon has posted the product descriptions for the figures early, which basically completely confirms the leak list. It's going to be Lost Galaxy Green, Mighty Morphin Black, this time as Adam, Dino Thunder Yellow, and Wild Force Blue, as we saw from the teaser image last week.
All I hope is that the Adam has the Operation Overdrive shield to give it a bit more value.
Well, unfortunately, it's not. Because we also get a full description of all the accessories with these. And for the Black Ranger, it says, swappable heads to display the Ranger with or without his helmet, extinguisher, blade blaster in free modes, blast effect piece, and an extra pair of hands. I don't know what they mean by extinguisher, though. I'm guessing somebody just, like, didn't recognize what the Power Axe was.
What's going on? Yeah. I mean, this is a good wave. It's just, why are we getting another MMPR Black just to have an Adam head? That's just... Especially if it's not going to have the Overdrive shield. That's such a missed opportunity.
You know that's going to be, like, a Walgreens exclusive at some point.
Yeah. Although, like, that's, like, the only disappointment I have with this, like... I mean, that's kind of, like, the expected disappointment. The rest look really cool, like, figures.
Yeah. I do like most of these characters, but I think the only figure I'm going to end up getting out of this wave is Dino Thunder Yellow, just because I want to complete Dino Thunder.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, and I'll get, like, Dino Thunder Blue secondhand, just to have the trio.
Yeah. And Dino Thunder Blue is a pretty solid figure. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I do have Red, I got it for, like, I forgot, like, just a random one-off purchase at, like, a game store once.
Yeah, with his frickin' Brendan Fraser-looking face.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Brendan Fraser.
A little bit. But then we've also got somebody has uncovered an old interview with Patrica Ja Lee, who, if you are not aware, played Cassie in Turbo and In Space. Basically, regarding her departure from Lost Galaxy, where we have found out that apparently at one point Saban was trying to sue her for $200,000, excuse me. I just checked it.
What the? Oh, okay. You know, I shouldn't be surprised because we've known some shady shit Saban's done, but oh.
My guess would be they were doing that as like we have to recoup losses from the fact that we have to reshoot these episodes, because they had already filmed like 2 or 3 episodes with her as the new Lost Galaxy Pink before she left the set, because this interview also mentions it if you don't know. She left because she wasn't getting paid as much as the Lost Galaxy cast.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. I mean, like, Lost Galaxy itself was pretty expensive, and it seems like not for good reason.
Yeah, well, I like a lot of Lost Galaxy, but it is a mess of a show.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's not a bad show, far from it, in fact. I give it like a 7, 8 out of 10, but like, there are moments where it's like, they kind of, why did you spend budget here? Like, it was, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like a show with its premise that it's meant to save money, but it really ends up, like, wasting. It meant the most expensive season at the time. So It's just, I don't know. It's a weird show.
And I would love for somebody to follow up with Miss Lee at a convention or something and just see, like, hey, where did that go? Because I'm going to guess they just dropped it at some point, but part of me wants to know for sure, you know?
Yeah, to just have the full confirmation, because, you know, sometimes interviews are just whack.
Yeah. But that is a crazy factoid that's out there now. And moving back to the Lightning Collection real quick, Unrivaled Collectibles on Facebook recently uncovered a listing that basically soft confirms, I would say, the fact that we're going to be getting a metallic armor MMPR white, which will be exclusive to a store of some kind, which is not surprising at all. I think this is something we all knew was eventually going to happen, but it's just kind of like, oh, hey, there it is. That's coming soon.
Yeah, makes sense. Especially because it was like the first one, and this is like a good way to get that first figure back on shelves.
Yeah. Now to move to some very unfortunate news. Actor Hiroyuki Watanabe unfortunately decided to take his own life this week. If you're unaware, he portrayed Garo's father. I believe the character's name is Raiga. I'm not entirely sure though. I haven't watched Garo in a while. He was also the first movie writer for Kamen Rider Dino, and he was the commander in one of the Heisei Ultra trilogy. I think it was it Gaia?
It was Godzilla. No, it was Godzilla. But he might have been in also Ultraman. Let me look at this.
I could have sworn somebody was talking about him being a major force in.
Yeah, let me look at his cast listing just to make sure we get this right.
Yeah. But yeah, this was really sad to hear because obviously I haven't read a lot of interviews with the man. I've never personally met him, and I've only really seen him in one thing, which is Garo. But he was amazing in Garo. He had such a real presence and gravitas in that role. So to hear that somebody as talented as him decided to do this for whatever reason he chose is really unfortunate. And, you know, as always, when news like this comes out, I feel compelled to remind people, if you're not feeling great about life, definitely try and talk to somebody.
Yeah, okay, he was the commander in Gaia, he was Taiga, Saejima, and Garo, and also Beast of the White Knight. He was actually in the Gamera trilogy, and specifically, he played Kamen Rider Gao in I'm Born.
Okay. So yeah, quite the prolific Toku actor, and probably also had many roles outside of Tokusatsu. And
looking at this, he actually did the Japanese dubbing voice for Michael Keaton in the first 2 Burton Batman films.
Oh, that's sick. Good for him. But obviously, there's not much else to say except like, hey, this sucks. I hope he was able to find some measure in peace in the end.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some more positive news, though, which is for the first time in, I want to say, over a decade, Power Rangers won a fucking award.
It wasn't a Kids' Choice Award. We thought it was going to
win. Those don't count.
But, like, it's a democracy, dang it.
Nah, the Kids' Choice Award. fucking excuse to market shit. But anyways,
Okay.
the GLAAD Awards awarded Power Rangers Dino Fury the award for Outstanding Kids and Family Programming, particularly because of its representation of LGBTQ youth.
Yeah. And like, I think it was in the same category as Owl House, which is like,
whoa.
because like I think Owl House was at the GLAAD event. Like the creator Dana Terrence was there, and it's been doing a great job at representation. So it's like, okay. But let me like look specifically who was up for a GLAAD award.
But like that's just insane because like the last time I remember hearing about an American Tokusatsu show win an award, it was fucking Dragonite.
Yeah, for its action choreography, which it does deserve.
Yeah. And like, just like with Dragon Knight at the time, I want to say like, it would be a real damn shame to cancel a show that's award winning.
Yeah, even though I don't believe they will.
Yeah.
Because everyone, I don't trust anyone who's saying it's ending rumors.
Yeah, I don't trust those rumors. As we've said many times on the show, I don't trust those rumors. And, but, just in case Hector Hasbro does happen to be listening, don't cancel your award-winning show, you pillock.
Yeah. Like, I know, like, the CEOs change, and, like, the guy who was, like, excited about Power Rangers is not in charge because he passed away, which is probably just some cosmic what the hell. But, like, I still believe, like, I hope he sees this and say, this is a good business move to keep Power Rangers on the air the way it is,
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just cool that something we as a fandom enjoyed seeing so much is being recognized by the wider media community.
And it's a good thing. That's something that is actually good and like something positive. And something that Dino Fury legitimately does well. So it's just like yeah, good. Yeah, basically more gays in Power.
Yes.
Piss off the homophobes.
Be gay, morph.
Yes. Just the Karen Major adaptation.
Power Rangers be gay and morph. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, what the fuck?
So we have the trailer for Birth Episode 0, or Birth X, or whatever the fuck it's called. The fucking Birth Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club special. And it looks like a mess that they filmed in an afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like a what's it called, a hyper battle video or like a net movie that they just like.
There's like 2 fucking locations.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It looks silly and fun, and it's like people are dancing, and it's like we get to see more of the Birth X suit. But like,
why is Ankh dressing like the villain puppet man from O's? What's going on there?
Why is Dante, like the first birth, in like being birthday man? It's just like everyone's it's whack. Maybe it'll be like a fun watch, but like I don't know. It feels like we've been kind of hyping this up for a bit, and it just feels like this is what we're getting,
Yeah, especially when like the whole purpose of this is to sell a new toy that's coming with the CSM Birth Driver.
Yeah, I mean that was supposed to be the purpose of like also the 10th anniversary movie, but as much as I like that movie compared to everyone else, it did not do a good job of selling that. Yeah,
this I'm gonna watch this, but I'm not really excited about it at this point. It looks like a big old mess.
Yeah, well, it's just like a fun like novelty thing. Anyway, S.H.Figuarts for the best Ultra series. Don't at me.
Yeah, we're getting, well, we've been getting this for a while, but now we have pretty promotional shots along with the pre-order for S.H.Figuarts Ultrawoman Grigio. I love this design. I've really enjoyed what I've seen of the character in the Ultra Galaxy Fight series, and this looks like a great figure of her.
Yeah. And I actually still need to see the movie she debuts in. As much as Rube is my favorite Ultra series, I have not seen the Ultraman Rube movie, which I probably should because it has Jeed in it, and Jeed was my first Ultra, so it's like...
I mean, feel better, I haven't seen any of Rube yet, or Jeed.
Please, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi and Shout Factory's website. Go watch it.
I tell you what, I'll make one of the more recent Ultra shows that everybody hypes up a priority as soon as I finish Black.
Fine. You could just do it like at work, because it's on the watch on your phone.
I hadn't thought of that. You know what? As soon as I finish the Netflix show I'm watching right now, which should be like a couple more days, I'll get on some Ultraman.
Yeah. Good.
But no, this looks like a really good figure. The articulation seems to flow really well without messing up the sculpt too much. And I love that not only does she come with like the most hands I've seen on a figure art in a while, but she also comes with a new hand for Figuarts Ultraman Zero, so you can do their high five pose from Ultra Galaxy Fight.
That's so cute. And like the hands are probably because the character does like a lot of happy and like, a lot very expressive. So, to make sure the hands are good for expression and like mocap and stuff. Not mocap, stop motion.
Pose.
Poses, yeah. Figure photography. The thing you used to do.
I still do it. I just don't do it to the level of fanciness that I once did because that takes effort.
Yeah. Speaking of effort, the shows.
Some releases. Let's revise some releases. Fuck.
Kamen Rider Revice, episode 34, Demon Calling to Demon. This was okay. Felt like just like it's gonna work better as a binge watch. I feel like.
I actually really liked this episode. I thought it was the best episode of Revice in quite a bit.
I wouldn't say that. We just had the like Janine versus Agelia 2-parter, so I'm like,
That's true, but I'm really liking how we're going into the final arc with like this super strong sense of foreboding and like, oh, we might actually be fucked here. Like that. This is the first time I felt like there's like actual huge risk the heroes might not win at the end, towards the end of a Rider show in a while.
Fair. I don't know. It just kind of felt like there were some cute character moments at the beginning with like Agelia and now Hana and like Sakura, but like, and whoever said
that fucking sequence is just hilarious to me because like I get the point. I get that this is not what they're doing, but to me I watched that and I'm just like, oh, John Toei out here reminding the little girls, hey, stalking is serious business, be careful, and reminding the little boys, hey, stalking is loads of fun, don't forget to do it sometime.
I know. Like, whoever's saying Tamaki is a black hole of charisma, screw you.
No, Tamaki's great. Tamaki's a good boy.
Yeah.
And he deserves to get the kind of development that the glorified meat shield for Sakura is getting in this episode. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah,
they're strongly hinting that he's gonna be over demons, and if he becomes over demons, I swear to God, I will chuck a rock at Japan.
You're probably gonna chuck it at the ocean.
Good enough.
Okay. Yeah, but like, I don't like. I mean, he works better as a side character, but he hasn't really got any development. Like he like major. He has like some cool pathos, but that's usually mostly to serve Sakura's character, not his own. So it's like,
yeah, it's weird. Like, part of me wants to be like, this guy is just a one-note Sakura simp, but he's not even that really. Like, they only occasionally hint that he might have romantic interest in her. And even then, that's like as deep as it goes. It's like we're not even sure that's what it is.
Yeah, he barely has a personality or quirks to speak of, and it's like,
I would be like 10 times more excited if it was Tamaki in this role.
Yeah, I mean that's a good use of your recurring cast. Like it's just it feels like they just like, oh, we want to make a new character instead of like using the characters that are just kind of vibing. And I don't mind Tamaki just vibing. But he could be also doing more things.
Also, like, just in terms of the way the show has been going, I had a strong suspicion that Director Man was going to be over demons, but I was secretly hoping that it would be George. So the fact that it might not be either of them, unless this is a complete red herring, just it makes me upset.
Yeah, oh man, George would totally be over demons of how kitbashy that is. That would actually be perfect for his character.
Yeah. But no, the rest of the episode though is pretty good. I really love all the like hesitation that Vice is having after being confronted by Vale.
Yeah.
Like that whole relationship is super interesting, and Iki understanding but simultaneously not fully understanding.
Yeah, he's like he's very rushy. Like he's like in like kind of motivating Vice instead of giving the time to like you know.
He's like, he, instead of being like, hey, what's wrong, buddy? Let's figure this out together. He's like, what is wrong with you? We have work to do. Let's go.
Yeah. Because, like, granted, they're in the middle of a battle, so.
And, like, as much as I ragged on Daichi last week, I actually kind of enjoy what they do with him this week, where it's like he's getting... The reason he's been acting so spazzy is because he's getting so desperate to like live up to the standard that Hiromi and the Commander Man before him set, and like it's kind of being hinted at that like that role is just cursed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like Daichi needs some better. I mean, but then we're kind of long past that. You know, it feels like it's just like Daichi's the way it is, for better or worse. Mostly worse, but like honestly, what really got me excited about Revice this week was the Veil special. So if we don't mind, final thoughts on this episode.
It was good. I liked it. It could have been better.
Yeah. Like, it feels like anytime Revice has, like, an okay week that will be way better on a binge, people just be like, oh, Revice fell off a cliff, and it's like, still fine, it's just not, it's just building to things, and whenever we like those things, it just, like, I don't know, just, like, it's the reaction.
The Kamen Rider community was more enjoyable when we had the show regularly take massive breaks to plug a movie.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know. It's just because I feel like a lot of people they'll enjoy a Kamen Rider season more on a binge these days. Like especially because I feel like they do design it for like just one more episode on like a streaming service. Like
I mean, it's also important to remember that like at least as far as the Heisei era goes, Rider and Sentai are largely designed as one story beginning, middle, and end. So to like judge the quality of the whole experience week to week, even though that's literally what we do on this show, is a bit of a poor decision. You need to be able to like take it in bit by bit and then at the end say whether it was good or not.
Yeah, and it does feel like sometimes like you know. Yeah, and like we try to do that. Like I feel like we try to be like, okay, like I'm trying to be like, yeah, I do think this episode's a bit like not as exciting as last week, but I can understand they're building to something, you know?
Yeah.
Just I don't know what they're building to. Speaking of building, Kamen Rider Revice Legacy, Veil episode 4. What did you think?
I'm happy my theory about Military Man was confirmed. He is indeed Busan.
Yeah, that's good. Also, this episode is like the last few minutes is just so like, oh, you know, just kind of hype, especially because we see the Veil suit, like just in action, which I think we saw. I think it first debuted. This is just we see it after because I think the first time we saw that suit was in the Revice 33, but canonically this is the first time it's been shown like in universe.
Well, no, because like he's been fighting a bunch of demons in the first episode.
Oh yeah, like the X. I keep forgetting they kind of set up Veil since the first episode of like the 1971 like flashback.
Yeah, well, that, and I'm talking about the first episode of Veil.
Oh, I'm dumb.
It's okay. It's been a while since that came out. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, no, yeah, but yeah. Either way, this was a great episode. Genta's so tortured, and I'm just like, man, I still wish this was a flashback arc in Revice proper.
Yeah,
really,
that poor puppy dog boy.
Yeah, like I know, like I'm glad it exists in the first place. I can just point people saying, okay, after this point in Revice, go watch this special. But like that's still a bit inconvenient. Just I don't know.
Also, I feel like I should probably acknowledge at this point because this is the second to last episode of this. I don't know if she just had bad directors in Q Ranger or it was the character itself, but like Yukumi's actress who was Hami in Q Ranger has improved so much since that show. Like you really believe her performance and feel for her in this.
Yeah, they're very different characters. Hami's very happy-go-lucky, and this one's very like calming and motherly. So,
true.
So like it might just be she plays better that character. Yeah, and it's just the performances all around are great. You really feel the emotion. Like the last few shots of the episode where like Genta is possessed by Veil and he has the red contacts are so frightening. It's like like it makes you. Ah man, I really hope this ends on a high note because this might be the highlight of Revice for me.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, like at least like a just a moment highlight instead of like just like I'll probably still like parts of the show better, but you know, the Veil special is like even when Revice is kind of like slowly building to things and it's not really like as exciting as it like could be. Like the Veil special really keeps my interest. Then for the Peak Fiction show, Avatar Sentai Dawn Brothers, Episode 10, The Rainbow the Oni Saw. What did you think?
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, very like interesting what if episode that kind of like confirms being a Todd brother's a tragedy,
Yeah.
and I
Like
love that.
you have
Uh,
to be cursed to be a Dawn brother.
and it's like, and that just like Sakura, just like her, just being like, you know what, you know what, I might like have all this stuff, but like I don't want someone else to suffer that just because I selfishly like wanted to get out. That's a great, like that's just such a great motivation. Um, and it's like
I fucking love the moment where Sakura goes
no,
to
it's not
Kaito.
Haruka. I think it's Haruka.
Haruka. Okay, you said Sakura, so
Oh dang it!
I was
Fair.
my brain was like correcting along with
What's her
you.
name? Let me just double check. I think it's Haruka.
No, it is Haruka. It's
Okay.
just you were still in revice mode, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But she goes up to Kaito and she's like, "Bitch, you know who I am. Fix it." And he's like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
yeah. I kind of like that, kind of like that side of like we'll call Dark Kaito. We'll call him
Yeah.
well, Dark Kaito, where he's just like he's a bit like he, that kind of like he tried to play it safe, but he secretly knows everything. That was kind of like he's a bit of a jokester, but like he
Yeah.
still knows.
And like we've got a good idea of how the point system works now.
Yeah. Now like Haruka's at 0 points, so it's like, what's gonna happen now? Will that affect
What
anything?
happens? Oh, I want another focus episode. Like, don't do this plot with somebody else again, but do another focus episode where somebody decides to do something stupid with their massive amount of points because they're in the lead.
Yeah. What other things can you do with points? Maybe I do think like you can redeem power ups with points, which might be how we get.
Didn't Pink Boy use his to get ahead in his career for a couple weeks there?
I think that was like maybe not the points, but like I think it was like something else. I forgot what happened.
No, because that episode ended with Kaito looking at his laptop and seeing that Pink's points had gone down.
But I think that was because he was being more selfish and like going down a dark path. Like he's not being a hero.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we also get like the proper quote unquote introduction of the Robotaro forms,
which
and
is just they decide to use them. I
yeah,
know, I know it's an Inoueism, but like I'm never not gonna be annoyed by the introduction of a power up is we just decide to start using it now.
yeah,
That's such lazy writing in my opinion. I hated it in Megaforce and I hate it here.
fair, but like I like it because when Inoue does it, like I feel like it's more charming. When Megaforce does it, because they say there might be an explanation, and then there's like not.
That being said, though, the Robotars are fucking cool in this episode.
Yeah. Now, like, I know some people are gonna be like, "Why is the CGI in the Robotaros better than the like actual like Inu brother and Kiji brother?" Inu brother and
They
Kiji brother.
motion track those boys, and they animate from scratch the Zords.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. That so it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, there's a reason why,
yeah. Like fucking do 2 seconds of research, plebs.
Yeah, and or just like watch Shirokura, watch the translated versions of Shirokura's little like post Don brother like interviews, like where you just
Yeah,
those are so good of just like learning little tidbits.
reminds
Like,
me of I should put those on the news more, but I am checking them every week and enjoying them because like they take me back to the days of like when Clone Wars was new and you'd get those weekly uploads to StarWars.com of Dave Filoni just being like, here's the thing I thought was really neat about this episode.
yeah, it's good, and it shows like faith in the show, where like Shirokura does want like Sentai to succeed. Like he's like he doesn't want it to fail. He wants it to like be like a proper popular brand. And
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, like the plot with the photo girl was pretty interesting. Like it was pretty neat to have like a full on transformation sequence with just a different Oni sister.
Almost makes me wish her suit had some kind of slight visual difference so we could justify getting like figures or like ranger keys of her down the line.
Yeah, well, it's a one off character and actress, so I don't think so. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe she could come back. Or still early on in the show. But
I mean,
yeah,
it's not like we get extra ranger keys for the like second yellow four or anything like that.
yeah. But yeah, Don. There's not. I don't think there's as much to say. It's very like as previous episodes, but like what is there is still really good. I still say Don Burns is 10 for 10.
Yeah, it's a solid filler with a little tease of stuff to come, with Policeman having those Mr. Magoo teeth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the bus like subplot.
Yeah.
Are all the bestials probably just gonna be those bus victims, or have been those bus victims?
I feel like they possess the bodies of those bus victims. I think that's where it's.
Yeah. And then again, Inoue actually apologized for them being so many mysteries. Like, like just like he has like just be like, I'm sorry there's so many mysteries, I swear there'll be answers. And I'm like, maybe I'm pretty sure like one of them won't have an answer, it'll just have like a joke answer, but I do have faith Inoue does have like most.
Don't pull another Ryuki. Don't fucking do it.
I mean, that was Kobayashi series, that wasn't like, I mean,
Oh yeah, that was Kobayashi.
it was mostly Kobayashi, but like there was chunks of it where Inoue wrote some episodes.
I just associate all stupid endings to Rider shows with Inoue.
Yeah, fair. Did Kobayashi have like a weird ending to one of her shows?
Yeah.
She's mostly done hits. She's mostly done hits.
Kobayashi isn't great at ending shit either, but like most of her shows are, I find, a lot more intriguing than Inoue shows.
I think they're equal in my opinion, but that's my weird take. Speaking of Don Brothers, I got my first Sentai toys and they're Don Brothers related.
Hey!
Yeah, time for the old stuff and toys section of the video, or catch up or old stuff. You know, the section where we talk. Yeah, the section of the podcast where we talk about not new stuff. I got all 5 Change Heroes, which are basically the figures, the $10 basic action figures. And
figures that the kid goes, mommy, I want a Don Brother, and the mom's like, it's only $10, fine.
Yeah, and they're okay. They're very clearly like based off model kit because you can take apart, like as Change Hero, I think you can customize your own with like the hands, and like you can take apart the figure. I will say it was a pain to put Kiji's wings on.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was like, it kind of hurt my fingers a bit, but like it's on there now and it's stuck. So you know, I think that's like the only good thing about that kind of thing. I do want to focus on Kiji and like Inu specifically because they're like the big like CGI boys and like how they translate the figures. Besides the wigs, Kiji's figure is really good. There's like a lot of articulation to it. Even though like the leg sometimes snaps off, but I think it's done snapping off. I think this is just me getting used to this kind of figure because I've never
used to the joint tolerance.
Yeah, because the joint these have like way different and looser joints because they want to do the Change Hero gimmick. You know. And then Inu was a bit disappointing, I'll admit. It's still like a the sculpt is amazing. It's like it feels like he's actually there. Like the head is really well done. The little shuriken is a fun like prop. The hands kind of are a bit loose, and his arms are basically non-existent. They can only go up and down. They can't really like move. They don't really have any extra nuances.
So he's got like Spider Pig level articulation.
Yeah, very very simple articulation, I will say. Although, like that simple articulation does lead to a very much the nicest looking figure.
Or actually, no, not Spider Pig. Spider Pig just has a ball joint at the head. I'm thinking of like Black Series Baby Yoda.
Yeah, very very Baby Yoda-esque. But the other figures look great. Saru is probably the best looking one. I feel like that's the closest to like a very high quality figure. Probably because he doesn't have any props, so they could like focus more on like accurate paint. Oni's sister probably has the worst paint, but still looks fine. And then Don Momotaro looks fine.
Yeah.
Like if I had to rank them, Saru is number 1, Kiji is number 2, Momo's 3, Inu's 4, and then Oni is 5, based on my experience. But yeah, fun set. Probably you should wait for the S.H.Figuarts if you're a collector, but if you just want like simple figures, fun.
I mean, if we're getting S.H.Figuarts.
Oh yeah, we still haven't got the Zenkaiser one, have we?
Yeah, and I think whether or not we get Don Brothers entirely depends on how successful Zenkaiser and Shinchoku Seiho Gokai Red are.
Yeah, I hope those sell well. I think the Gokai Red one will at least sell well.
Yeah.
And like depending on
I'm not gonna lie, I've been very tempted to pre-order it a couple times.
Yeah, I do kind of want to get Zenkaiser Black Change Hero because that's a thing.
Ooh.
Because I think that just got up on Toku Collectibles, so
yeah, you probably do that, and like once you get him, you'll be able to keep pace with the show. Because I think we're only going to get one more Ranger.
Yeah, I'm like thinking like once the 6th Ranger gets announced, which there might have been a tease for in the new episode, new episode preview. I mean, Like then I'll probably like get Zenkai Black and the rest. Although like they're like $28 on Toku Collectibles because of shipping. I mean they're free shipping actually. I got the shipping was free, but like there's a big markup price I think to like justify the shipping. Uh
Yeah.
but also I finally so I feel like this show is very much lacking in Doug Enders content because Doug Enders High School, I was gonna talk about it a week ago, but I realized I haven't finished Nice Buddy yet. So in my quest to finally get some Doug Enders content on this podcast, I started Nice Buddy. I'm 6 episodes in, which is like halfway through the show because each Doug Enders season is 12 episodes. Very charming, got that Doug Enders spunk. And there's a lot of cool developments. Great Zed is hilarious. I posted a clip on Twitter where it's like we see his finisher, and it's 40 seconds just to build up to like a beam, and it's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, and he blows up Kaita Q-Man's car, and it's like you monster. Just
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
yeah. What else? Also the maid butler, who like maybe it's the subs I'm using, but they use they, which implies they're non-binary or gender fluid, which is pretty dope. Like they get a power up, and like they're kind of just chilling with the Dog Enders in their new place because Great Zed took over the place and stole their villains like Yabai Kamen, and it's just like oof. And basically Yabai Kamen's just kind of like help me, just I don't like this guy. It's like it's good like whole and then like the last few episodes have basically been like let's use the buddy system to like just annoy Great Zed. Like they annoy him filming a commercial, a stage show. It's very much like the last season was like let's introduce these characters and now let's play around with what the Toku story tropes or like the marketing machine for Toku. I feel like that's the big parody angle this season because Great Zed also has a mech. So yeah, Doug Enders is so charming. Please go watch it. Full disclosure, Internet Archive might help you.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can easily stream it. If you just don't want to download it. So that's all I'll say. I've said too much. Vac, talk about Black.
I watched another 3 episodes of Kamen Rider Black, 25, 26, and 27, which is basically the string of episodes where I realized that Minami Kotaro is friend to all children.
Yeah, it's like I really love the Arnold meme you posted, where it's like when a child needs help, but it's like Chad Arnold.
Yeah, because it's just we're in a string right now where I don't know how much longer it's gonna last, but there's just been a bunch of plot of the weeks where it starts with Kotaro and his 2 lady friends meeting a kid who's doing a thing, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome that you do that thing," and then the kid gets involved with Golgum, and they start doing bad shit, and it's like, and then they see. Kotaro sees the kid doing the bad shit, and they're like, "What happened? You were such a good child." "Oh, Golgum, my mortal enemy. I will defeat you." And then you get 20 minutes of Kamen Rider action, and then a little bit of wrap up of the kid's doing good again.
Yeah,
That's literally the structure of Black at the moment, and I'm enjoying it immensely.
yeah. Like it's just like it's like just what's it called? Like just little fillers. Like I don't like using the term filler. I like to use the term like one-offs. I feel like just one-off plots.
Done in
like,
ones.
Done in ones. Yeah, like comic books. Like as you say, done in ones are just like so charming in Toku. I feel like, and I feel like a lot of a Toku's quality will depend on the quality of those done in ones. Like, can you consistently put out like just some charming stories? And I feel like that was like even though Zenkaiger was a lot of done in ones, they were good done in ones for the most part.
Yeah.
So.
Because Zenkaiger also like advanced its plot by micrometers.
Yeah, it was a bit frustrating, and I wish there was a bit more of plot. But like
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of chill week for Toku. We just be vibing. We waiting for stuff to happen. It feels like summer's coming up, so it just feels like once everyone's done with finals and their paperwork, it'll feel like all right, announce the toys.
Yeah, we're about due for the announcement of the next Kamen Rider.
Yeah, like this month, we're gonna get probably the trademark for the next name. Although it feels so weird, I kind of like, even though like I'm like kind of ready for Revice to wrap it up, I kind of like just feels like it's unreal to just like have the next trademark like either next week or very soon.
Yeah. Hey, well, since we're already at the end of the show, and it's entirely possible this could jinx the name into dropping tonight, what do you think the next writer's gonna?
It will not be Shinobi. But I do think it will be a bit more mystical. Or at least maybe it'll probably be like I don't think it'll. I want to say it's ninja theme, but not shinobi. But that seems like a bit too like, oh, that seems a bit too like, if why not just call it shinobi at that point?
Here's an idea: Kamen Rider Sage.
Sage. It feels like a bit too close to Saber. Like we just had Saber last year, so it's just like, do we? I mean, I do want to see that, but like a mage, like another magic theme writer, that would be really neat.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could, because Kamen Rider really doesn't need a big shakeup.
I don't big shakeup. I'm just like trying to think of ideas for what the next theme could be.
Theme, yeah. Because usually when I think of like what can they do next, like in terms of like story structure, I don't really like theming. I'm like, I totally got this. They could make like workable toy lines out of fruits and locks. They can do anything.
That's true.
And like stamps, we have stamps this season, and I feel like we kind of forgot like the mailman angle of that. So it's just, I don't know.
We had a whole show about books.
Yeah, they can do anything. Toei's unstoppable of Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider Soup. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Chicken noodle form. I'm ready.
A chef writer would be neat.
You mean besides Kabuto?
Yeah. Apparently Kabuto got into some crypto shit, so I don't know.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect my standing on the character, but
Oh, well. Anything else to say this week?
It feels like we should say more, but I think this episode's gone on for long enough anyway, so.
Yeah, Buster, tell the people where they can find you.
What's up, I'm Buster Corp. I do videos on the internet. Last video was Kamen Rider Double, working on other Toku reviews that will come out in random order, but one of them's Zenkaiger. So we talked about in the show. You want to hear my kind of complete thoughts? Then subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're currently at the Nakaiksa number 913.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so get us to 1,000, so I can make a 1,000 joke next.
Yeah. When the 5 horns cross, the golden YouTuber Buster is born.
Yeah. Actually, my first, just a little behind the scenes of my life, my first YouTube channel was called, like, Gold Mario or something. I didn't really do much on it, but just, that was, like, the first idea I had, but, like, that's a story for the lore video. What about you, Vac? What's your lore?
My lore is that I make videos and you can watch them at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. You can also follow me on Twitter at thevacuuminator and on Instagram at _vacuuminator. And hey, maybe give me money and listen to my Patreon exclusive podcast at the Vacuuminator on Patreon. But folks, that is all for this week in Toku. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Toku.